Oh, Rasmus Hojlund. Oh, Rasmus Hojlund. Oh, Rasmus Hojlund. Doesn't quite have the same ring to it, actually, as the RVP one. But hey, look, we'll work on it. What's going on, everybody? How you doing? Thank you very much for joining us and getting in here for the show this afternoon. It's time to discuss the transfer news of the day at Manchester United. Loads to get into this afternoon. Plenty of stuff going on at the club, so we'll cover you and get you up to date with what's going on if you don't already know. So thank you very much for everyone who's joining us in the live chat. Great to see you all here on the Bacon Express. We have plenty to dissect, and we will be covering it all over the next hour or so. So strap yourselves in and do us a favour at the start of this stream as well, everybody. Make sure you do drop a cheeky little thumbs up on this stream. That'll help this channel out. Share us around on social media. Also, you can go over and retweet the tweet that's at the top of the live chat there. Do give us a cheeky little retweet if you haven't done so already. That would be much appreciated. It's pinned to the top of the chat. And of course, guys, if you're on catch up later, get down below in the not live comment section. Have your say. Hit the subscribe button if new. Get involved. We're on here daily with the United News. And also, if you're watching this live right now, shout out to everybody who is watching this live. Then get yourself involved by smashing the old like, and also get your comments and thoughts in throughout the show. We always get in the chat and see what you legends are saying. We've got you covered, Bell6091. We'll let you know what it's all about very soon, mate. Mike Hill, good afternoon to you as well. Matthew Smith, Chris Swift, what's going on? Dynamic Melon, Johnny M, great community presence here already. RR, Jason Ewing, Nick Pendragon, Gungshi, get in there, my son. What's going on? Mohammed, Mike, Joshua, David, Johnny, Irfane, Kingslayer. We've also got VJ in here, and Jamie, and Irfane, and Dale, and everyone. Joshua Whitfield, Dynamic Melon, Ben Bray, Dean M. Kieran, how are you doing? Thank you, everybody, for getting in here. And Jamza Highlights has been a member for 2 months. Come on. Get in there, you legend. Bacon and Egg Brigade Don. Let's get some love in there. Hashtag 2 for Jamza Highlights. I appreciate you, lad. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Being a member for 2 months. Really, really do appreciate that. I hope you're good today as well, boss. Get in there, you beauty. Right, okay then, guys. So we've got lots of news to discuss. Lots to get into. Let's just stop fanning around like a bunch of fannies and get into it. Rasmus Hojlund, a.k.a. the next Don of goals at Manchester United, is looking likely that we could do the deal very soon on this guy. So as of right now, it's known that United are in contacts with Atalanta as of right this moment, trying to thrash out the deal. There's been an update from Fabrizio Romano just a little while ago today, about 20 minutes ago, which reports this, as you can see in the tweet in the bottom right hand corner. If it actually loaded, it would say that United have submitted an improved bid, believed to be around about 60 million plus at least. He didn't actually specify. If it actually loaded, then we'd see what he said. But on this occasion, it hasn't done. So, Rasmus Hojlund, there's a tweet from Fab just from a short while ago that says that Man United have submitted an improved bid, which is 60 million plus, which is obviously good that we're doing the business and working on it here and trying to get an offer done. Sky reporting that the deal is getting closer. Hopefully this one works, and it does. Breaking. An agreement between Atalanta and Manchester United for striker Rasmus Hojlund is edging closer, we understand. So, it's edging closer by all accounts. Lots of outlets suggesting that that is the case. We're working on it today. Perhaps we could reach an agreement by the end of today. That's the idea. It seems like we're going to get absolutely royally bent over for this guy. Talks of 70 million euros base with add-ons as well, maybe taking this deal up to 75 million pounds. Goodness me. We know how to pay an excessive amount of money for players, don't we? It's a heck of a lot of money there, to be fair, guys. But if that is the case, obviously it'd be fantastic to get that deal wrapped up regardless. It's not really about the money, is it? It's just about getting this guy in there. Thank you, Rushmana. We'll get onto that in a moment as well. We've got some breaking news. Very interesting. I'll get into that in a moment. I've literally just started. I'm just covering the Rasmus stuff. Then we'll get into that. But that's raw, lad. Great to have you in here, Rushmana. Thank you very much for that, lad. I'll get onto that in una momento, por favor. Okay, so The big news, obviously, Fabrizio said that we have submitted another bid. So has various other outlets. Sky reporting that the deal is getting closer. Hopefully we can get an agreement in place for today. 70 million euros up front and maybe 5 million in add-ons does sound ridiculously high. But that's Man United for you. To be fair, if we want to get our guy, I suppose we kind of just have to try and get this guy get the agreement in place for this guy very much over the line as soon as possible. So within the next couple of days, really, because it takes a while to get everything sorted out. It takes a little while to, get everything in place, medicals, paperwork, and all that kind of thing. And we want to see this guy play before the pre-season is over, don't we? We want to see him play against Lens. We want to see him play certainly before the Premier League season starts. So in order to do that, maybe we do have to pay a little bit more money. I don't think he's worth any more money than 60 million euros, to be fair, guys. And obviously more will come out in regards to how much we're actually paying for this guy. So we'll get a confirmation, a finalisation of sort of the amount of money that we're paying for him. But at the moment, Man United are on the verge of securing Rasmus Hojlund services with a written offer worth £60 million plus around £4 million in add-ons. This bid will be submitted in the coming hours. So, it looks like we are paying 70 million euros for him. So 64 million pounds, as this report says. That's around about 70 million euros. So a couple of different varying reports, some saying 70 million euros, some saying 75 million euros including add-ons. So, it's close to that amount of money by all accounts. We know that PSG obviously had a bid rejected for 50 million and now they've turned their attentions elsewhere. Here's another report coming out from Italy that says that breaking, Manchester United are on the verge of signing Rasmus Hojlund for 70 million euros plus 5 million euros in add-ons. The written bid will be submitted in the next coming hours. Get in there, my son. Alfredo Padula as well, also reporting that, there is contacts in progress, confirmed final bid between Friday and Saturday. That's today and tomorrow. So a final bid submitted to them, hopefully to, convince them to sell the guy to us for around about 70 million euros would be about the maximum we want to pay. I mean, let's ask the live chat, guys. How much do you think this guy's worth in this current climate? Let's use euros tonight. Let's use euros. So seemingly we're going to be paying close to 70 million euros, give or take. 70 million euros. That is more than he's worth, to be fair, right now, based on the 9 goals that he scored last season. But obviously, he's got bags of potential. He's Ten Hag's guy that he obviously wants to go and get. And you've got to say that sometimes you do have to pay a little bit of a premium in order to get your guy. And I think that's exactly what's happening here. It's like the Paul Pogba scenario all over again, or the Harry Maguire scenario all over again. Paying huge amounts of cash for these guys obviously is obscene. But that's what we do at Manchester United. We pay excessive amounts for these players. Billy says 60 million euros for you. Nathan says 65. Paul says 60. Pinhead says 5. Mike says 60. Fair play to you guys. Hey, we've missed out on a highlighted member comment there from Bell6991, who's been a member for 32 months. Thank you, Bell, for supporting the channel 32 months, lad. Let's go. He says, get your news out. Get your news out for the lads. I will do that, lad. I will do that. We're going to get the news out right now. Thank you, Bell6991, for being a member of this channel for 32 months, mate. That's a long time. Thank you very much, lad. Orlando says 60 million tops, 60 million, 60 million. I think you guys are around about right. 60 million euros is perfect. But we're paying a little bit of extra premium here because we're Manchester United. It's what happens. Everyone sees us coming a mile off. We end up paying loads more money than any other team would actually pay to get their players. But, you have to say, I don't think any of us would be overly annoyed, really, if it turned out that we had paid 70 million for Rasmus Hojlund. Yes, maybe you could add a little bit more and go and get another player and not cheap out so much. Maybe Osimhen, maybe Harry Kane. But ultimately, it's not our money, is it? We don't really give a shit whether or not it costs, 60 million or 70 million, to be perfectly honest. At the moment, these Glazer shithouses are still here. And it's the Glazer shithouse money that they're spending, obviously. By the way, guys, I have to just talk about this. We'll get back into Hojlund in a minute, but obviously there is breaking news this afternoon, and I really do want to talk about it. Thank you, Rushminer, for keeping us up to date here with what's going on. Let me just actually put this in my YouTube video as well, because this is pretty obscene news that's just come out today, guys. Pretty obscene news. The Rasmus Hojlund stuff there, we just got over that. We just discussed the very least of what's going on. We'll get into more about that deal very, very shortly, but I have to address this real quick. Guys. So give me one moment. It's an absolute disgrace and a nonsense. Oh, goodness me. But anyway, on regards to Hojlund, hopefully we will be able to wrap up that deal very, very soon. Bid, yeah. Okay, let me just put it in the title of this vid, guys, because it is obviously big news. Oh my God, what a disgrace. Okay then, guys, right. By the way, we're nearly at 100 likes, everyone. Keep hitting that thumbs up button if you haven't done so. Drop a little like on the stream. Help us get to 100 likes and give this a share around. It will help the channel out. Nice one. Right, by the way, so this is the latest, guys. Harry Maguire. We all want him out of the football club, don't we? We all think he's an absolute true melt, really, when it comes to being a Manchester United representative or a player. Unfortunately, he just doesn't have the skills to pay the bills for United. He's on huge money. He's obscene in terms of his underachieving performances. And we've got a new exclusive report here from David Ornstein that's come out this afternoon that says exclusive. Manchester United reject £20 million offer from West Ham to sign Harry Maguire permanently. Oh, for fuck's sake, mate. Come on. Come on, guys. What's going on here? 20 million quid? You're taking the piss. You're taking the piss, mate. 20 million quid, fuck me! 20 million quid for the slab? My goodness me! Rejected! Are you taking the piss out of us, Manchester United? 20 million quid! Mate, that's about 19 million pounds more than I thought we could ever get for this big human slab. To sell him, he's on 200 grand a week, for fuck's sake! He's an absolute shambles of a man! 20 million pounds? 20 million pounds? Dude! Sorry to say, I would have accepted that offer, to be fair. Get rid of this guy! Goodness me, what more do we expect? He's on 200 plus grand a week! Goodness me, I'll drive him to West Ham myself! Anyway, just to clarify what he says exclusive, Manchester United reject 20 million offer from West Ham to sign Harry Maguire permanently. David Moyes keen on England's centre-back. But unlikely, West Ham United will push again amid feeling the 30-year-old wants to fight for Man United place, plus salary's also an issue. Of course the salary's a big issue, guys. He's shy and he's on 200 plus grand a week. You're not going to get 40 million for Slabby, I don't think. Yes, we paid 80 million for him because we're absolute delusional mugs. We've had a mare, we got bent over. Of course, we're not going to be bloody expecting to get a lot more than that. Okay, maybe they can squeeze another 5 million out. Maybe 10 at the max. But we just outright rejected it, have we? And it seems that West Ham may not come in again for the guy because, it's too much money, it's too much wages. I will not calm down, Philip Chapman. This was an opportunity for Manchester United to get rid of this bloody breeze block, son. We've been putting up with this guy for years. We could make some space in the squad, make some space for the wages, go and generate some cash, get some cash off of our books, my son. It's easy to just accept an offer for 20 million from the slab. I think we could have, at least, where's the negotiation skills here? We've just outright rejected it, and it's understood maybe West Ham are unlikely to push again. Listen, people saying that he's worth a heck of a lot more than this, right? They need to remember that he's on massive money, and they also need to remember that the last 2 years that he's been at Manchester United, he has been subpar. He's not a top-tier player. Just because we valued him ourselves as a top-tier player, we gave him the captaincy, we gave him the massive contract, we paid 80 million for him. That's our mistake. We shouldn't be expecting anybody else to take that mistake on for them. Certainly not West Ham. So West Ham are looking at this guy, okay, maybe 20 million's a little bit cheap. Maybe 22 million, maybe 25 million. I genuinely think when you factor in all scenarios here, all different, factors in this deal, i.e. his wages, honestly do think 25 million tops is what you should get for this guy. He's about 30, he's obviously got issues when it comes to confidence maybe right now. He's fifth choice at Manchester United. We're probably quite desperate to sell him. We could easily just get Johnny Evans in for longer, and that's even a better player that we've got there really for the short term. He's on big money, which West Ham will have to pay. I don't think we're going to get more money than this, guys. Not much more anyway. He's old, he's getting on a little bit, and he's also not even that good, and he's on huge money. Those are the main reasons why we can't get big money for Harry Maguire in terms of a transfer fee. Let's ask the live chat, guys. How much do you think Harry Maguire's worth in this current climate? How much is he worth in the transfer window? Let me know. But I think 25 million tops, to be perfectly honest. 20 million's a bloody good offer from West Ham, to be fair. It's a decent offer, there's nothing wrong with that offer. United should be capable of maybe doing a bit of negotiation, maybe squeezing another 5 million out of him. But we should not be outright refusing this deal. It just winds me up. Let's see what you legends are saying in the chat here. So, 30 million max, says Rushmano. 30 to 35, no chance. Mike Hill says 20 million is right. 27, says Nathan Phelps. Yeah, but Elanga's young. Slabby's a human. Slabby's on 200 grand a week. Rewind says 25 to 30 at least. Ah, come on now. I mean, he's definitely worth some money. 25 max, I think Johnny is right there. He's definitely worth some money because of his reputation, his marketability. You know, he can even use his face as a billboard. You know, he's obviously got some benefits there commercially, right? But also, he's a main England choice centre-back. He's one of the first 2 names on the team sheet in the defence because we've got cash options for England. But that means something. He's a homegrown talent. He is an international standard player. He does well for England. And for most mid-table sides in the Premier League, he would be a decent acquisition. But not on 200 plus grand a week. Now you really are taking a bit of a leap of faith signing Harry Maguire when you're prepared to spend 30 or 40 million, like some people suggested in the chat here, and you've got to pay him those big wages for a club like West Ham. It's just unrealistic. This was our opportunity to get rid of this guy, and I really hope that it's not gone. David Ornstein reports that there may be unlikely to come back in for him. Okay, fine. Unlikely to come back in for him. Well, you know, maybe look, we've rejected it. Perhaps we can renegotiate and get a little bit more cash. But come on, 25 mil. Surely we can squeeze 5 million extra out of them. But 25 mil is a decent deal for Manchester United, as it also is, as it also would be for West Ham. It's a decent deal, but any more than that, and it becomes unrealistic for Manchester United, and it also just becomes not very worth it, I think, for West Ham United. And Fabrizio Romano's just tweeted exactly the same thing as well, guys, saying that United have rejected this offer for Harry Maguire. What an absolute shambles. It's an absolute shambles, guys. I'm sick and tired of Man United's piss-poor dealings in this transfer window. This is an opportunity to get rid of somebody. An opportunity to get rid of somebody who's just a hanger-on. Oh, he might want to fight for his place in United. Bullshit. If an offer comes in from a decent team like West Ham, they are a decent mid-table side, surely he'd be prepared to go once Ten Hag said to him, hey, the captaincy's stripped off of you, and we are going to go in a different direction. You are now 5th choice. You're barely going to play. Do you want to be part of England's European Championship qualifying side, etc.? Well, you better piss off somewhere else and play regular football then. You know? So, I am lost with this. Look, I don't think 20 million is necessary. You don't take the first offer, right? But the fact that we've rejected it, and perhaps there's a feeling that West Ham won't go in again because of the amounts of money that this guy's actually paid. We can't expect to get a lot more than £20 million. £25 million? Yes, okay. We should at least be trying to negotiate and getting a bit more out of them. You don't just accept the first bloody offer. But people are saying 35 million in the live chat. I think it's outrageous. He's on huge cash, and he's gash. Huge cash and gash. Trash. It's not good. That's a bad combination of things. When you're on huge cash and you're also gash. Come on, you can't explain that to West Ham and say, hey, look, give us 35 million quid or whatever. What are we doing? We should have ran to the bank with that 20 million. Got the 200 plus a week. That's £800,000 a week minimum. Saved every single month. £10 million a year that Manchester United could have used to go and put that money elsewhere. Now, I'm not saying these negotiations are even over yet, because they probably aren't. We've got an indication here from Ornstein that they're unlikely to go in again, but they probably aren't. If they want to try and increase the offer for a little bit, then obviously Manchester United, that's what we're banking on. We're hoping that they come in and give us more money for Harry Maguire. That's what they're hoping. Oh, fucking hell. Gash and grab, exactly there, Emperor Jerome. Well, I mean, look, let's just ask the chat this, guys. Should we sell? Let's just say that they don't up their money. Maybe I'm way out of base, guys. You know my thoughts on the slab. I just don't think he's worth it at all. But maybe I'm way off base. Do you think we should sell Harry Maguire? Let's say they don't come in with another improved offer. Should we sell Harry Maguire for £20 million? To a mid-table Premier League side? Should we sell? Yes or no? Should we sell Harry Maguire for £20 million? Yes or no? No, says Dale. Sell, says Nick. Yes, says Nathan. Yes, says Nathan and Joshua. Hell no, says Dale. Yes, says Slurp King. Yes, says Thunder. Jojo says no. Billy says no. I would sell him all day long, guys. I'd sell him for 10 million. Are you taking a piss? A lot of people in the live chat here saying, no, goodness me, he's fucking gash. What are we doing? We're the mugs who paid 80 million for him. He's not worth anywhere near 30, 40 million in my opinion. He's bang average. He's certainly bad for Manchester United. And actually, he's a fifth choice centre-back for the club now, guys. Why wouldn't we want to just get rid of somebody like that who's just a complete hanger-on? He's a fucking Klingon. He's a Klingon on the back door of Manchester United now. That we could easily just brush away for 20 million quid. And, come on. He's not the right fit for Manchester United. He's right down the pecking order at United. He is bang bloody average. I can't see us getting more than 20, 25 million for the guy anywhere. It's his wages that are the problem. His wages are astronomical for the sort of player that he is. You've got to factor that in. So West Ham will be factoring that in with their bid. So if they've bid money for Maguire, they know that he's on the big sort of money that he's on, which means that they've got to factor that in over a several-year contract, so it doesn't just cost them 20 million up front. Like I've just said, he's on at least £10 million a year, this guy. £10 million a year, so if they give him a 3-year contract at 30 years of age, they're committing to forking out £30 million over the next few years on his contract, which basically amounts to an obscene amount of cash, really, for somebody that's kind of proven to be a little bit on the gash side of things. So it has frustrated me, this news, I must say. And at least let's negotiate. At least let's have a bit of a negotiation. Don't just reject. Let's talk. Let's talk with David Moyes, the Ginger Goblin. Come on. We've got a good relationship with this guy. Surely we can squeeze a little extra 5 million out of the guy. But no more than that, really. If I'm Moyes in West Ham, I'm not paying more than 25 million for this guy. It's obscene. Sell him for 20 million, says Fire Up. Exactly, Sing Game says it's like keeping some stale bit of cake in the fridge, saving it for another day just because it costs a lot. Spot on, lad. Get rid of your fucking Nana's wedding cake from 1924 for Pete's sake. It's gone rancid. You know what I mean? Sentimental. It's not even sentimental value with Harry Maguire. It's just the outright craziness that we paid massive money for this guy that I think is even sort of, making us want more. Just because we got mugged off in and we're trying to pass that absolute obscene price onto somebody else. Well, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Nobody's going to give us that much for him. You'd let him go on a free, so 20 million is a bonus. Well said, lad. Honestly, I'm not even joking with you. I know this doesn't make that much economical sense, especially when somebody's prepared to pay some money, which clearly a club is. But honestly, if you'd have told me that we had the option to mutually terminate a deal with Harry Maguire, I'm not talking about terminate his contract because that means we've got to pay him out for the remainder of the contract. I'm talking about a mutual termination. If he'd have turned around and said to us, look, make me a free agent, I'll go and agree terms somewhere else, I'd have said, yeah, okay, then nice. Harry Maguire, thanks for getting yourself off our books, you big slab of a man. You big anchor. You big ball and chain around the ankle of United. I just said, yes, thank you very much. Free agency, here you come. So the fact that we can actually get £20 million for him and they take him off from our books, I think we should have just accepted it, guys. We should have cut our losses on Harry Maguire and said, see you later on, son. But I know obviously everybody's got different opinions on this. People think we should be holding out for a bit more money, and I agree we should try and negotiate. You don't just go in and accept the first offer. That's absolutely true. But for us to expect to get a lot more than that, I think it's just bewildering. We won't make anywhere near 30 or 40 million, I think, for this guy. And if we do, it's an insane bit of business from Manchester United. £20 million. £20 million for Harry Maguire when he's 30 with unbelievable wages is actually very decent cash. Oh, man. England homegrown tax alone's worth 10 million. Fair enough, that puts his value up to 10 million pounds then, as far as I'm concerned, superstar. I don't see the value in this guy. Yes, I agree with you. He's homegrown, he's an England international, so therefore he's worth something to someone, isn't he? And he is. I've said this before. He's actually been brilliant for England over the years. And for the right team, whether they play a low block type of football or they're just gash, he would be a good fit and he could be a good player for the right team. Manchester United, he's not the right team. Ten Hag, we want to play attacking football. We want there at times to be, high press. We want there at times to be, a lot of numbers committed forward. And as I said many times, when we lose possession of the football, when Maguire's at the back, teams can just go route one, get a ball in behind to a fast runner, and exploit the lack of pace and positioning that Harry Maguire possesses at the back, which means that he's not right for a team like United, who plan to camp out in the opposition's half for much of a game and plan to high press and all that sort of stuff, because he leaves us exposed. There's too much of a gap behind the defensive line for Harry Maguire to cover with his absolute outright slowness. That's the reality. But for the right team, You know, an Everton-style Daichi team or something. With the right team, he could probably be an absolute asset. So he is worth money. He's worth money. And, you know, he's obviously an inexperienced player. But his wages means that he's not worth that much money. And so I think £20 million is a cracking offer, really, for Slabby Maguire. Hopefully we can squeeze out a little bit more. I don't think, hey there, Jamser again, mate. I don't think he will end up in Saudi Arabia now. I think he would rather stay, and that would guarantee him getting in the England setup as well. Good afternoon, Luan. If he stays in the Premier League, obviously. If he goes to Saudi Arabia, his chance of continue to be picked in Southgate's England is less and less, I suppose. 20 million and wrap him up with a bow. Thank you, Card, and ship the fridge out. I couldn't agree more with you. Danny B, what are we doing turning that down? Gaming Sim says, send him to the Everton glue factory. Worst signing in our history. Spot on as well. 100% agree with you, Gaming Sim. Like, come on, what are we doing here? Emperor Jerome says, breaking news. Harry Maguire signs for Hemel Hempstead for £1.50. See, that's the sort of figure I thought we'd be getting from Harry Maguire. 50 million or nothing at all, England international. Adrian Feeney, no! We'll never get rid of the guy for that, mate. Never get rid of him. So what? He's an England international. He's an England international for Gareth Southgate's England. Gareth Southgate's the mug that picks this guy. I mean, to be fair to Southgate, there's slim pickings at the back for England, right? He's a justifiable selection in England's back line. He's a good player, and he's been good for England. But for Man United, he's been shite, and England don't pay him £200,000 a week, obviously. If it was the same sort of scenario, they'd probably have fucked him off a long time ago as well. We are the ones that have to pay his wages, and he's on obscene cash, and this is a chance for United to cut our losses and get him off the books, and get some other mug to pay those big wages. I would have sold him for basically nothing. So 20 million, I think, would be a decent bit of money. Listen, if we can squeeze 25 million out of him, let's try. Let's try and negotiate for a little bit more, absolutely. Of course we should try and negotiate for a little bit more. We shouldn't just accept the first offer. But crikey, guys, now we're talking about asking for a bit too much when we're asking for 30 or 35 million pounds for Harry Maguire, who is just been an underperformer at the club for a couple of years. And now he's fifth choice. We've got Martinez and Varane are our main choice centre-backs. Lindelof's ahead of Maguire. And we've also got Johnny Evans, who's just signed now. Luke Shaw can play a job at centre-back as well, as and when we need him to. Better than Harry Maguire. So he's arguably sixth choice centre-back. You know, we're talking about spurning the opportunity to get rid of this guy and generate some cash which we can put towards another quality player. We're talking about spurning that opportunity just because what? He is an English homegrown international. I mean, it's silly. He's not needed by Man United anymore. He's been a hindrance to us the last 2 seasons. Look, if you've lived through the Maguire era like I have, and all of you here have, I feel sorry for you guys. I feel sorry for you that you had to watch that Human Breeze blog represent Manchester United, captain the side the last couple of years, stealing and living at this football club. It's a disgrace and a nonsense. Imagine if Roy Keane was on his team. He'd have been throwing punches at him many times. Goodness me, he's just an absolute bang average player that should be playing for West Ham, so let's let him go. Goodness me. Smash a 1 in the chat, guys, if you agree, and we should just be getting rid of this human slab as soon as possible. I would have mutually terminated his bloody contract in this summer transfer window. Never mind receiving 20 million quid for him. Goodness me. Oh. So, anyway, listen, this isn't dead in the water. Hopefully there's some strong basis for us keeping Harry Maguire. You know. Billy says, disagree with you today, Pig. 30 million is needed. I don't care about an extra 10 million for Harry Maguire, though, Billy. The emphasis is to get him off of our books, to move him on. If we're going to... Okay, let me ask you this. Okay, so we might be able to negotiate for 25 or even 30 million, like you say. That's possible. But also, what is also possible is that West Ham go, you know what, now you're asking for a little bit too much considering all the wages we have to pay for this guy. We're actually going to walk away from the deal. David Ornstein's actually insinuated that. Doesn't mean that it's the case, but he said that David Moyes is keen on the England centre-back, but unlikely that West Ham will push again amid feeling that the 30-year-old wants to fight for Man United place and his salary is also an issue. So are we going to get the 30 million that you think he's worth? I don't think he's worth that, but even if you think he's worth that, West Ham may not think he's worth that, and I don't blame West Ham for not thinking he's worth that, because he's not worth that. So, goodness me, now we run the risk of keeping hold of him. So we're keeping hold of him. So what's the... Okay, let me ask you this then, chat. Let me ask you this. What would you rather? Sell Harry Maguire for 20 million quid, or risk losing out on any deal anywhere, and he stays. Those are the two options that I'm proposing to you right now. There may well be another option. Maybe somebody does pay 30 million for this guy. But what would you rather? He stays as a sixth choice centre-back on 200 plus grand a week, or we get rid of this guy for 20 mil? You would even sell him for 15, says FCG. 100% agree with you, bud. Exactly, bud, but just not paying his wages would be a bonus. Let him walk for a tenner. You would even sell him for 15, exactly. Sell him for 20 and buy who? Put it towards buying, a great player. That would cover most of the Amrabat fee. That would cover a good percentage of the Rasmus Hojlund fee. Maybe we could sell him, sell McTominay, sell Fred, sell Bailly, sell a bunch of other players. Go and buy Pig and Harry Kane. Especially when you're saving £10 million a year in terms of the wages we have to pay this slab of a man. Goodness me. Less than half of Harry Kane's wages would be covered by Maguire's wages if we were to go and buy Harry Kane. I'm not saying we will. It's very unlikely, but that's the sort of money we're talking about here. Huge cash that this guy gets paid every single week. Hello there, Oki. What's going on? By the way, thank you, everyone. Who for 20 million? Amrabat's 30 million euros by all accounts, mate. Would you rather have Amrabat or Maguire? There's not much difference going on there between the cash, is there? And Amrabat wouldn't cost that much in terms of his wages, so he'd actually be quids in with an Amrabat deal. Let's say we signed Amrabat for 35 million euros even. After 1 year, the deal's paid for itself because you've got 20 back from Maguire and you're saving all that money on Maguire's wages, who's on 200 plus grand a week. So you could actually go and get Amrabat for Harry Maguire. Somebody that actually comes in and makes our midfield better, makes our team better. Or you just keep a sixth choice centre-back around for what? For what? Because you want to be a bit greedy and get more money for somebody who you paid an absolute extortionate fee for because you're dumb. Man United's recruitment team for paying 80 million for Harry Maguire is obscene. Obscene decision. And, they've made the bed. They got to lie in it there and accept the fact that we can't get big money for Harry Maguire. Oh, my goodness me. Hey, I'm not too bad, Neil Gilbert. Thank you very much for getting in here, lad. And 0793, great to see you. Guys, do us a favour, though, if you're just getting in. We've got 200 legends in here. Please smash that like button on this video if you haven't done so. We've got 114 likes. Let's see if we can get 200 likes. This is a Harry Maguire level of like performance right now. Give us a like spike if you're just getting in here. Hit that thumbs up button. It's free to like and it does give us a boost up there. So twat the thumbs ups. Also, subscribe to this channel. Get your thoughts and opinions in. We want to hear from you. Yeah, poor accounting, mate. Berber says, if we can wave off Ronaldo and De Gea, who the fuck's Maguire to decide he's staying? Get the fuck out. Yes! Yes, Berber! Finally! Finally, somebody said it how it is. We can get rid of those quality players. How the hell are we not gifting away Maguire, let alone receiving £20 million for this guy? Completely agree. Oh, anyway, look, fair enough. We should try and get more cash, I suppose. But if we can't get more cash, we don't want West Ham to turn their attentions to a different player. We want to sell him for 20 million. That's the point I'm making. Try and get more money for him. Of course, let's have a negotiation with David Moyes, the Ginger Goblin. Let's try and get 25 mil. Let's try and even get 30 mil. Of course, you don't go in there and say, hey, yes, nice one, David Moyes, you Ginger Goblin. Let's accept your offer. No, you try and get more. So that's what this is all about. But you can't be too greedy with Mags because of what we've talked about in this video ad nauseum. He's bang average and he's on too much money for the player that he is. So you've got to factor that into a transfer fee. If West Ham are paying 20 million for this guy, they're really paying 30 million or 40 million even for the guy because of how much he has to be paid every single week in wages. It's not a simple case of, oh yeah, he's going to come in and be on parity with some of our average centre-backs. He's not. He's going to get paid a heck of a lot more than them. So they've got to justify that, and they can't expect to be spending a shit ton loads more, money on a transfer fee. Oh, says Ferguson would have shown in the door no matter what. Okay, fair enough. So anyway, sorry guys, we did a little poll then. I've totally missed it. I'm going to ask you again very quickly. So I just want to get an idea of where everybody's head's at. So let's talk about this. Sell for 20 million or keep if you can't get more. Those are the two options I'm proposing to you. Just have a vote, sell or keep. Sell for 20 million or keep. That's what I want to know from the live chat here to find out what the fan base is thinking. For me personally, it's sell for 20 million all day long and every day on a bloody Sunday, guys. United says keep him. Oh yeah, nice one. Keep a big slab on 200k a week to be sixth choice centre back. Good one. Sell, says Neil Gilbert. Sell. Keep, says Jojo. Sell, keep, sell, sell, sell. Sell, sell, sell. Sell, sell. Right, okay, I think we're seeing a little, we're seeing a trend. We're seeing a trend. Luan thinks keep. Most people say sell. Few keeps here, few keeps here. Few keeps here. Probably Arsenal fans. Probably bloody Arsenal fans and Liverpool fans want us to keep. Crikey, if I was one of those teams, I'd want us to keep him. If I was a rival, I'd be well happy with Harry Maguire staying at United, sucking out £200,000 a week and potentially scoring 6 own goals a season. I'd be loving that. Oh, keep, says Arsenal man, excel, says DS Tube. Right, okay, thank you guys for having a vote there and giving us an idea. Everybody can see that in the live chat over there, that most people think we should sell for 20 million. That's the reality. So, okay, we might be able to get a little bit more cash. Let's hope that's true. If we do, fantastic. We've done brilliant business. If United get 30 million quid for Maguire, it would be a stupendous amount of money to receive for somebody who's worse than shit for Manchester United. And if we get £25 million, that'll be an absolute clanger banger of a transfer business for us. However, if we don't, and we walk away from a 20 million deal, we're the mugs. We're absolute mugs. Absolute losers and mugs if we walk away from selling Harry Maguire for £20 million. So, yes, we should absolutely try. Just to underline the point, we should try to sell him for a bit more. But if we can't, come on. It's time to realistically let him go. Let him go, let him go, we don't need the slab anymore. Here he is on 200 grand a week, and his cranium's fucking massive. Who needs the slab anyway? You know what I'm saying, guys? Get rid of this frozen melt. He's fucking frozen solid, this twat at the back. He's cold, and he's slow. Get rid of this Disney melter. Do you know what I mean? I'm sick and tired of him, honestly. Oh, goodness me. Right, okay, so look, there's Fabrizio's tweet as well, right, guys? It says, Manchester United have rejected West Ham's proposal for Harry Maguire out of hand. Official bid was 20 million, as called by David Ornstein. Man United want more than this to let Harry leave. Oh. Okay, that's the news there, guys, with Maguire. That's the news with Harry Maguire, right? Nice one. Okay, just wanted to put that up at the top right so people can see that coming in there, because it's a pretty big story of the day, really, that we have outright rejected an offer for Harry Maguire for 20 million. Outrageous. Okay, then, so you want to talk about Hojlund. I don't really want to. Let's just get into the live chat and talk about Maguire for a second, actually, before we cover the Hojlund news. Just see what you guys are saying. Super chat. Bell Shred says, United penny pinch for someone like Maguire 1 minute and then overpay for a player the next. Clowns. I'm with you, bud. We overpay and we undersell. And this time around, we're asking for too much. Sell, says Momo Mino. 20 million, that's a lot for Slabby. Completely agree with you. I concur. It is a decent bit of cash for the guy to get him off of our books. Keeping Maguire is like we're curses, Ansar. Not too bad. Thank you, Corrupt. We will get 35 million for Maguire and 40 million for Scott McTominay. You what? Come on! Are you serious, bud? Are you mental? Hey, fair play to you. I've got to love your optimism there, Anthony. I really do. What? 75 million for those two twats? Goodness me, that would be the most genius piece of transfer business in the history of this club. If we could receive 35 million for those absolute bang average melts. Goodness me, let's be realistic. You can't believe we rejected 20 million, says Mumps. Oh, goodness me, guys. It's a great chat tonight. It's obviously a polarizing point, though. Some people think he is worth this. All right, anyway, okay, hang on. Sorry, guys. I missed a super chat here from Mikey. Thank you very much, Mikey, for getting in here with a £2 super chat. Let's get a cheeky little sue in there for this guy. He says, depth is key. If he was first choice centre-back, I'd worry. Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, depth is key. Depth is key. Having Harry Maguire at the squad would be great for depth. I'll tell you why it's great for depth. When the team go into the hotel swimming pool and you want somebody to touch the bottom of the pool in the deep end, Harry Maguire's your guy for depth. Other than that, he's fucking shite, mate. And I'd rather play a youngster or somebody else. Harry Maguire is not great for depth because he's 6th choice as it is. So I get rid of this guy. Who needs that sort of depth? Who needs that kind of depth for the club, guys? Not me. Oh, imagine what you could do with 20 million and we basically have Lurch from the Addams family with Smeg on his massive head walking around. Precisely. Exactly. That's what we're dealing with here. You rang? You know, that's Harry Maguire for you, my son. I agree. Like, come on, let's at least get Gomez or Pugsley or something, or Fester. But no, we're stuck with bloody Lurch, mate. He's slow as all sin. So, anyway, no, I would just get rid of the guy. Scott McTominay will go on to be a better player than he is now, says Ali Evren Nassanir. Well, bold statement. Maybe so. He's not terrible. I mean, look, McTominay's actually worth some money, if you ask me. I think McTominay's worth more than Harry Maguire because of his age, but also because he's on a lot less money than Harry Maguire, which means that you should be justifiably asking for more cash in terms of a transfer fee up front for Scott McTominay. I think Scott McTominay's worth £30 million, but I think Maguire is bang on around about £20 to £25 million because of his age and because of his wages. That's the reason. I'm not saying Scotty's even a better player in his position than Maguire because I don't actually think he is. All I'm saying is value-wise, it makes sense to pay a little bit more and for McTominay to be worth more money than Harry Maguire because of all of those situations. Oh.
Get in there, my son.
Have to respect McTominay. At least he tried. The only issue is he isn't good enough. Yeah, well, same goes for Maguire in that sentiment as well. Maguire's always tried at United. I don't think there's any issues with his effort levels. It's just the fact that he fundamentally is a bit of a gash bag when it comes to his abilities and his skills. Yeah, hopefully you're right, Lucky Singh there. Hopefully you are spot on, dude. Hopefully you're right. Yeah, I do want Evans permanently. I'd rather Evans permanently for nothing for, 1 or 2 years than Harry Maguire on 200 plus K a week. £200,000 to a 6th choice backup. Are we mental? Of course we want to get rid of him. If we can get rid of Tony Marcio, we should get rid of Tony Marcio as well. Yeah, we could have a decent backup striker in Tony Marcio around the gaff, but it's not worth paying £200,000+ a week to a backup. And that's all these players have become now at United. We're in a new era of United. We should be building towards a better future where we get better players and we demand higher standards. Maguire should be left in the bygone era that's just gone of absolute mediocre and gash football. He should be left behind. And so if we can get rid, we should. Cut our losses. Thank you there, Rushmano. I appreciate you. He says, smash a like for the pig. It helps the channel out. It does indeed, guys. If you guys are new to the show, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. That would be awesome. Drop a like. We're nearly at 150 likes, guys, so keep hitting the thumbs up. Can we smash 150? Let's have a cheeky little like spike. It does help us compete with clickbait wankers and corporation twats as well. So hit the old thumbs up button if you want, and that'd be awesome. 6th choice centre-back. That's what he is, mate. 6th choice centre-back. He is. Varane, Martinez, Lindelof, Luke Shaw, Johnny Evans. Maguire's literally 6th choice now. Thank you, Emperor Jerome. You know it, lad. Oh. Well, there you go, Calder. Maybe I'm just being cynical. Mark says, Pig, Maguire's worth negotiating for at least 25 to 30. Yeah, I agree. He is worth negotiating. Let's try and negotiate, Mark. Couldn't agree more with you, my friend. He's worth trying to get more money. Of course, he's worth trying for us to get more. But should we reject a deal if we can't get more? No, we should sell him. We'll try our best to raise the cash up a little bit with West Ham. That's what we should do. So, yes, I agree. We should absolutely try. But I just don't really think we're going to get a lot more than that. I don't think people realise how much cash he's actually being paid. And a club like West Ham, in particular, aren't going to want to really pay that much wages to him. I mean, we don't even know about the wages of the dealer situation right now, as in what West Ham are prepared to pay. Perhaps West Ham wouldn't even want to pay Harry Maguire the amount of money that we pay him, and Maguire would have to leave based on the fact that he's going to get a few quid less a week, which I don't think is going to happen either. And certainly if they're going to have to pay him what we pay him, then we can't ask for too much and be greedy, because they've got to give him that money over a few-year contract. And that means that the deal for Maguire doesn't just cost 20 million, it costs 30 million for a 3-year deal, 50 million altogether for the transfer fee and the wages for a 3-year deal, or even 60 million for a 4-year deal. That's the level of investment that West Ham will have to make on a player like Harry Maguire over a 3 or a 4-year contract. And that is absolutely obscene for the player that he is. So we should spot on get rid of him. On Conquest says that laugh was epic. Well, you certainly tickled me there, my lad. The price is offered and the club's in for some of our players says everything. Bloody West Ham and Everton. Standard, not Real Madrid or Bayern. Well said there, Don Berber. Completely agree. Come on, let's start having a bit of bollocks about us. Trade him in for a couple of PS5, says Emperor Jerome. Why are all these Harrys such mama's boys? Move on. Make your own bread, says Cool Dude. Get 25, going towards 30. Come on. Just sell Maguire for whatever. If it's worth negotiating, fine. But if not, then sell. He's just not... Yes, that's what you got to try and negotiate. So yes, try and negotiate. Get as much as you can for him. But if it's 20 million and that's your max, cut your losses and sell him. That's the genius idea. Why do I dislike Sancho? I think he's a way better pass than Antony and should feature a lot next season. Because he's an inconsistent melter. That's the problem there. I really do like some of his performances, but some of them are completely invisible. He's very, very invisible. And I wouldn't say I dislike Sancho. I'm happy to give him a chance this season for him to prove himself. But this is his last bastion of a chance, really, this last third year at United. Come on, he's got to do it this year. Otherwise, he's going to have to part ways with us. He's on huge money, and you've got to be accepting, a good standard at United. If you don't meet that standard, I'm sorry to say, time to go. Look, Sancho deserves more of a chance, but he's only really ever been, at best, an inconsistent player who sometimes is good. We don't need more players like that. We've got plenty of players like that. We want consistent performers, people that turn up more often than not. Nobody can do it every game. Bruno Fernandes is a great example of somebody that turns up more often than not. Lisandro Martinez, Varane, lots and lots of... This is the sort of mentality of the player that we should have. Not somebody that just goes into the shadows half of the time, turns into an invisible melter half of the time. Half the time's not good enough. Antony's another one. I thought he was only good half the time last season. He's got to step up. But certainly Sancho is an inconsistent player. And yes, Rushmano says here, make sure you hit the subscribe button if you guys are new to the channel. Drop a little subscribe on this stream if you haven't done so. That would be awesome. Thank you so much for getting in. Stay Clint says, Maguire has offended my club, my country, and a Shaolin temple. If he stays, he would certainly be offending me. Certainly. Give Sancho until the new year. I'm with you, Welsh Red. Yes, I'm with you, bud. Yeah, your girlfriend always laughs when she sees Maguire's playing. That's unfortunately the case. He's a meme these days. Maguire's a meme. Right, I'm going to cover the rest of the news now, guys. I'm sick and tired of talking about Harry Maguire, but there is the Harry Maguire news that Man United have rejected a bid of 20 million for the slab from West Ham, and there's a fear that they may not want to come in and have another try because they feel like Maguire's salary's an issue and maybe he wants to try and fight his way back into United's side. Well, like I said yesterday, Ten Hag and United have to start being a little bit brutal with Maguire. I'm not talking about putting soaps in flannels and hitting him Goma Pyle style. That was just a joke. I mean, they've got to put him to a side and say, look, you're not part of the plans, Harry. We can get 20 million quid from West Ham for you, bud. You can go and play regular football for the Ginger Goblin. You can get in the England team for the European Championship. You will be a big player for them over there. It makes sense for everybody concerned here. We want the cash. You're not going to play here. You can go over there and have a career and play regular football. Let's see you later on, son. Bye-bye. Thanks for the memories, of which most of them are gash. See you later. That's kind of what we have to do now. Ten Hag, he's probably already had that conversation with him when he stripped the captaincy from him. Maybe he said to him, look, you're still part of the plans as a backup. You're still in a rotationary role in the squad because we do need a bit of depth there. But we've got depth even without Harry Maguire. Like I say, he's sixth choice for me at centre-back now. So, he's not needed. We could easily go and get some youngster who's on nowhere near the amount of money and probably has the potential to be a much better player as well. So that's where I'm at. See you later on, Harry. Ten Hag needs to have that conversation with him, that realistic, brutal conversation, and say, hey, look, the time is up. Time for you to move on and go and play at West Ham. And hopefully that happens. If it does, brilliant. We can use that money to go and sign somebody else. That will pay for the Amrabat deal. It will pay the transfer fee more or less. And, of course, the wages. Amrabat's not going to be on 200 plus K a week at United. He'll be on significantly less. So it means we're getting a better player that's more useful for us. And it's just paid for by Harry Maguire. It's an absolute no-brainer. No-brainer situation. So Harry Maguire hopefully will be going to West Ham, but at this moment we've rejected the bid. We, of course, should be trying to get a bit more cash, but if not, let's sell him for 20 mil. Smash a one if you think that's fair. Right, I'm going to get on to the next level, or the next order of the day, sorry, guys, in regards to the transfer news. So we started this stream off talking about the Rasmus Hojlund situation, and then this news about Harry Maguire broke. And I'm just going to get back into what I was talking about at the start of the show in regards to Rasmus Hojlund. So Rasmus Hojlund is taking It's getting close, guys. It's getting close. So Sky are reporting that the deal's getting closer. Let me just cover this. Get rid of this chat here because it's covering the tweets here. Sky are reporting that breaking an agreement between Atalanta and Manchester United for striker Rasmus Hojlund is edging closer. Before I went live, Fabrizio Romano tweeted out as well and just said that Man United have submitted another bid, which is an improved bid, and it's more than 60 million euros. So the last we heard, we had submitted a 60 million euro bid. He didn't specify exactly how much it was that we had submitted or resubmitted for Rasmus Hojlund, but now it's expected that it's close to 70 million euros. We have various sources that say it's around about 70 million euros, which is an obscene amount of cash to pay for this guy. But as I just said, I mean, if you can pay for a third of Rasmus Hojlund by getting rid of Harry Maguire, we bloody well should. I don't mind paying a little bit extra cash for a 20-year-old hot prospect, you know, if we can get our guy in sooner rather than later. We want to get him in soon so he can play at least a game or two. Well, one game realistically for the pre-season before we start the Premier League campaign and actually be bedded in, settled in Manchester, settled at the club, working with Ten Hag and the squad. That's what we need. Now, he's not worth 70 million euros. I've said this time and time again, he's not worth that. Maximum 55 million euros, 60 million euros, but we're paying the Man United premium like we always do. We're the mug of a club that paid 80 million for Maguire and 85 million for Pogba, etc. We're that mug of a club that does overpay. 85 million odd for Anthony and 75 million for Lukaku and all the rest of it, guys. We are the club that overpays and everybody sees us coming a mile off. And Atalanta's done exactly the same thing here. And they are holding out for what they want and they'll probably get it. 70 million. Look at this. Here's a report that says Man United are on the verge of securing Rasmus Hojlund's services with a written offer worth £60 million plus around 4 million in add-ons, which is about 70 million euros. Some other reports suggesting that it could be as high as 75 million euros, including the add-ons. But I think we probably have gone in and submitted an offer that's 70 million euros by the sources that I've seen. The bid will be submitted in the coming hours. And so there's an understanding that between now and tomorrow, we may well get an agreement in place for the amount of money that it's going to take to convince Atalanta to sell him to us. Alfredo Padula over in Italy has given us an update there and said that the Hojlund bid is essentially confirmed that it's the final bid between Friday and Saturday as well, so just an idea of a time frame. And we are working on negotiations with Atalanta. Earlier on today, Fabrizio Romano said that we are, at this moment in time, negotiating with Atalanta for Rasmus Hojlund today, and direct talks will continue between the clubs. We feel like we're at match point now to attack. Match point. The deal and then reach total agreement. Hojlund has been clear he wants to join Manchester United. So Hojlund's obviously desperate to join Manchester United. He wants to play for Ten Hag and United. He likes the idea of the project. It's a big increase in wages that this guy will be getting at the football club as well compared to what he's on at Atalanta. PSG, those shithouses were interested in him, but he's not too keen on PSG. He would prefer United. Plus, they don't want to pay the amount of money that us mugs will pay for him, because we will pay a significant amount of cash more than any other team probably, because that's the Man United way, sadly. But there you go. He's understandably obsessed with Manchester United and he likes the idea of playing for us, and he's supposedly a fan of Manchester United. Fabi says that Rasmus Hojlund is obsessed with Manchester United. PSG know that he wants to join United. PSG have now turned their attentions elsewhere, it seems, which means that the path is clear for United to sign him. So we're very close, guys. We are close to agreeing on the fee, approximately 70 million euros for Rasmus Hojlund at this moment. Another report says could be 70 million euros plus 5 million euros in add-ons, which really would be a heck of a lot of money. This is some breaking news from Italy that says that Manchester United are on the verge of signing Rasmus Hojlund for 70 million euros plus 5 million euros in add-ons. The written bid will be submitted in the coming hours. So just a slight discrepancy from different reports coming out. Some say 70, some say 75. More will be revealed over the next coming hours or day as to the exact figure that this has been, agreed for, essentially. So hopefully it'll be agreed soon. Hopefully Atalanta will accept that offer from Man United. If they want more than that, I'm sorry, but we maybe should think about walking away. That's already an extortionate fee to pay. And for not that much money more, another 20 mil, another Harry Maguire more, we can go and get Osimhen, or we can maybe try and have a stab at Kane. So I'll ask the live chat, guys, if Atalanta were to reject 70 million euros, all told, complete, including add-ons, 70 million euros, should we go in there for more, or should we walk away from that deal? Let me ask the live chat. Would you walk away if they ask for more than 70 million, or would you try again? Try again or walk away? Let's ask the chat. personally think we should probably walk away, because now you're talking about an obscene amount of cash for somebody that only scored 9 goals last season. Now, he is obviously a really good player, and we've done like quite a bit of negotiation along the way to even get to this point. But crikey, with not that much more investment, we could go and get an actual proven 30-goal-a-season man maybe in this league, or somebody like Victor Osimhen, who's proven to score a heck of a lot more goals than Rasmus Hojlund is over in that league. So it does make a bit of sense to not completely get bent over and pay 80 million or whatever the heck that they may want. It's not about what they want. They've got to make an agreement with us and meet us somewhere in the middle of what they want and what we want. So if they're going to be too greedy, I feel like walking away is probably the best bet, because then we can maybe go and sign Osimhen. Dabo says Osimhen or Harry Kane. So we know that Bayern Munich are still interested in Harry Kane. Obviously talks are continuing over the coming days for that. There's a small chance United could be interested in Harry Kane. Maybe Ten Hag doesn't want Harry Kane. But somebody like that could be achievable for not that much more money if Atalanta are asking for, say, 80 million, which is obscene. So 70 million euros, which is like 64 million pounds, that's got to be the absolute limit, if you ask me, for what we're prepared to pay. And even then, we're paying a significant premium just because we're Manchester United. Walk away after that, says Lucky. Should have walked away already, says Tom. Pay it, says Jojo. Then we could fight for Kane. Exactly, Paul. So if we weren't going for Rasmus Hojlund, if there wasn't the value in that deal, maybe it would seem like there's better value in the Kane deal, especially if we can sell Maguire and McTominay and Fred and guys like that. Now, when you think about it, if you sell Maguire, McTominay and Fred for a combined, I don't know, 65 million pounds, 70 million if you're absolutely really lucky. If you combine all of those 3 players, we should hopefully be able to get 70 mil. Well, that pays for Kane, and all of their wages pays for Kane as well. So that's the sort of player we could sign if we don't get Hojlund. So I'm all for Harry Kane, to be fair. Mike Hill says we can't afford to walk away unless we can get Harry Kane. No, absolutely right. You're spot on. Or Osimhen. Osimhen would be more than 100 million. Osimhen would also be a fantastic addition to Ten Hag's team. That would be a fantastic signing. So there comes a point where, where we shouldn't pay too much money for Hojlund. At this moment, he's got massive potential to go on and be a fantastic player. And he's physical and young and quick and, seems to have a lot of the attributes we're looking for. Can press from the front. He can get involved in the build-up plays, an intelligent player, even at 20. But still, the facts are the facts. 9 goals last season in Serie A. We can't pay an extortionate fee for this guy. It already is an extortionate fee at 70. Take a walk, says Richard. Yeah, precisely, guys, precisely. We need 2 strikers. Spot on as well, Bruce McIntosh. Spot on, man. See, really what we should be trying to do is sign this guy and then working on another guy behind it as well, like a Kane. I know that's super wishful thinking, but as I just said, if we are able to get rid of a lot of the players in this club, surely we could maybe have a look at generating the cash to go and buy a top-quality striker as well. So we've got 2. Completely agree with you, mate, because at the moment we've got Tony Martial. He's an absolute melter of a man in terms of his injury proneness and also just his overall qualities. Not good enough. Vutinator says, Pig, Levy's not selling to an English club, mate. He's not even being considered by United. They want 120 million to 125 million, even if they did. Oh, right, yeah, so you're on the blower to Daniel Levy every day, and he's your best mate, and do you, Vutinator? You don't know that for a fact, lad. You know what I'm saying? Listen, if they can get 90 million pounds from Bayern Munich, or they can get 110 million pounds from Man United, they might want to sell him to Man United and get the extra 20 million pounds. Money's money, end of the day. Sure, they don't want to see him around. They don't want to see him around in the Premier League, do they? No, they'd rather he went abroad. Of course they would. And I think it's correct to say we would have to pay more money than Bayern Munich to convince them to sell to us. But you don't know that they need 125 mil. They might accept less than that. They might just accept more than Bayern. If Bayern say we're maxing out at 90 million euros and we go, well, we'll pay 110 million euros, which is like 100 million pounds. They'd be foolish not to accept it. Surely, we're giving them the opportunity to make more money. So I'm not so convinced about that. Yeah, they might have said that in the media. They might be putting that out there, drip feeding it out there in the media. Of course, that's the figure that they're negotiating with if Man United were ever to come in. They want 120 million. We'll meet them somewhere in the middle. But I honestly don't think it would cost that much to get Harry Kane. I'm telling you now, they don't want to lose this guy for nothing. And Bayern, understandably, are going to bid somewhere in the region of about 90 million euros next. That doesn't mean that's the end of their negotiations, and this is kind of speculative, but their last offer for Harry Kane, 15 days ago, was 80 million euros all told. That's a significant amount less than what they want for Kane. 80 million euros. Now, if they go and have another bid for 90 million euros, That's significantly less maybe than what Spurs are looking for still. And if Man United can sweeten that deal and say, hey, look, we will give you 105 million euros or 110 million euros. Money talks and bullshit walks. Maybe they would sell him to Manchester United. It's the same league and they don't want to see him hanging around the league, but come on, maybe also Kane's got a say in this. People are not even thinking about that. Harry Kane has a say in his future. And if there's two offers on the table and he knows that, he can make it a bit tricky for Spurs. If he wants to outright stay in the Premier League, the league that he's played in his entire career here, and wants to try and be the all-time top goal scorer in, etc., and maybe win the medal, maybe he wants the Premier League winners' medal before he dies. You know, maybe that's the case. Maybe he doesn't want to be another Stevie G mug. Maybe he wants to win that Premier League, and if that is the case, he wants to stay here and he likes England, and he doesn't want to go to the Bundesliga, then he makes it very tricky for Spurs, to the point where they would have to accept Manchester United's deal. So, you know, if Man United want to try and go for him, we've got a chance. Not saying it's realistic. The chances are he probably will go to Bayern. But if Man United could do a deal for £100 million, say, I think they would probably be open to it. Let's ask the chat for a bit of fun. Hey there, Neil Duffin. What's going on, you legend? Let's ask the chat, guys. How much money in pounds would it take to convince Spurs to sell him to us? Neil says, Pig, we've enough ammo to get us to January. Brian Brobby from Ajax in January. Smart business. Hey, fair play to you, mate. What about Mohamed Kudus as well? Been hearing about the opportunity that maybe we could be signing him also. Okay, right. Oh, my goodness me, guys. Stressful day today with this Harry Maguire news. By the way, Juventus have been banned from competing in the Conference League this year due to capital gains case. €20 million fine also being given. €10 million of this conditional based on financial results. Ooh, Juventus in the shit. You love to see it. Cheating bastards. The most cheating bastard club out there, really. One of them, anyway, over the years. So, just a bit of a headline coming out there as well about Juventus. They've been banned from the Conference League, guys. Interessante. Very interesting. 110 million, 100 million, says Chloe, 100 million, 150. I mean, come on. 100 plus add-ons, 120, anything over 100. £100 million sterling is too good to turn down for Harry Kane, who could leave him in a year's time for nothing. 70 million Jan. 110 million. Well, in January, you know, he's technically free to speak with foreign clubs and leave at the end of the season on a free. So he would actually be allowed as a free agent to discuss personal terms with a foreign club in the January transfer window and sign at the end of his contract at the end of next season, at the end of this season. So they don't want to do that. They can't run the risk of trying to sell him in January. 100, says Mark Egan. 110 at least. 150. I mean, that's crazy. That's just crazy. They're not going to ask for 70 million more just because it's an English club that's in for him. They can't. Thank you, Rushmano. He says subscribe to the channel. Yes, make sure you hit the subscribe, everybody, and smash that like button. How many likes are we on? We're trying to get to 200 likes for this afternoon show. We will be back on tonight as well to discuss all the evening's news. We're on 173, guys. We're only 27 likes away from 200. Oh, okay. Thank you, Sing Games. No, some of the tweets are loading, but one of them isn't. Just one of them, but most of them are. Most of them are loading, but it's just one of them seems to be malfunctioning, my son. But yes, I need to read your messages on Twitter, lad. Thank you, my friend. 105 million at most, says Richard. Yeah, fair play to you. I completely agree. 176 likes. Thanks, guys. Right, I'm just going to cover the rest of the news that we've got going on. Then we'll get into the live chat for a bit more of a Q&A. So, understandably, I don't even want to talk about Harry Kane because it's very unrealistic, but we should absolutely try if Atalanta ask for too much money for this guy. At the moment, we're potentially going to be paying 70 million euros, which is already too much. If they don't accept that, we've got to walk away, is all I'm saying, and try and get somebody of a higher caliber, one of the true world-class current strikers who's experienced and ready to score goals for us, whereas Rasmus Hojlund is kind of one for the future. He is going to be really great now as well. That's why we're paying that amount. But he's still a lot more to come from him in the future. Whereas we could go and get somebody who's ready-made for United right now. But understandably, he is obsessed with Manchester United, by all accounts. And we are pressing. So his agent is also pressing that we can get an agreement in place. Here's a report as well from Gazzetta in Italy that says that Rasmus Hojlund's agents are pressing for Atalanta to agree a deal with Manchester United. The new United bid could arrive in a matter of hours. So we're expecting within a few hours, maybe there will be a bid submitted officially, and perhaps it could be agreed maybe today, maybe tomorrow. We'll see. So expected that could be as soon as tonight or tomorrow. So make sure you come back later for the evening show, because we will be on around about 10 o'clock, giving you all the latest updates and all the latest news then as well. And Atalanta are waiting. Atalanta are waiting, guys. So Alfredo Padilla in Italy says that Atalanta are waiting for the official bid for Rasmus Hojlund between Friday and Saturday of 70 million euros plus 5 million euros in add-ons. There has been no official bid from PSG yet either. So, they're still waiting on the whole scenario to present itself, obviously, and the official bid to come in. But Fabi says that verbally we have increased our offer already from the last 60 million euro offer that we submitted. So that's the latest news, guys, on Hojlund. Hopefully he can be a United player soon, as long as Atalanta aren't too greedy and ask for too much. Thank you there, Cyprian Nabiswa, for subscribing to this channel, mate. I appreciate you hitting the subscribe button, my friend. Great stuff. If you're new like him, hit the subscribe button and get yourself involved. We will be having a Q&A in a minute. Also, I'll be shouting everyone out who's retweeted us. The pin is at the top of the live chat. Click that link, go over to Twitter, give that tweet a retweet, and I'll shout you all out in a minute. Thanks everyone who helps the stream out. Just two very, very quick things, just as we were on Kane. So Kane, he was reportedly supposed to fly in today, or not Kane, sorry, representatives from Bayern were reportedly supposed to fly in today, and there's just been some changes of plans there, maybe because it's Kane's birthday, he's 30 years of age. Happy birthday to Harry Kane. I don't know, but the talks at this moment in time are they've just been delayed a little bit, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's not happening today. They obviously could have had a different flight booked, and just be arriving later or at a different place. So just a few updates earlier saying that their representatives had now rearranged it, basically. So rearranged it. And also, just quickly, Nottingham Forest still pursuing Dean Henderson. And I'm not going to talk about that too much because it's just the same. What's happened there? What's happened there? Anyway. Right, okay, so I'm going to get into the live chat now, guys, after I've just gone over to Twitter real quick and shouted out everyone who's retweeted us, and we'll have a Q&A for 5-10 minutes. So, let's go over to Twitter. Thank you, everyone who's retweeted us over there, guys. We have got 15 retweets. Thank you, everyone, for you legends for sharing the show. Aaron Homeyard, the Butcher of Manchester, Berberspin9, a.k.a. Ryan, a.k.a. The Gaming Simp, Kal-El, Jaden, Kieran, John Boy Cat, Kane, Boomy, Transfers_UTD, Luan France, Mr. Sims, Feline Fur, Fat Chinese Gaming, and Sin Games. Thank you very much, each one of you legends, for going over there and retweeting the show. Definitely appreciate that. Thanks so much for sharing. And Mark as well, United Mark, a.k.a. Mark N in the live chat. Thank you guys and gals there for retweeting the show. Okay, time to get into the Q&A, folks. Have your say. Let's go ham out there. It's time for some piggy questions and answers. So get your thoughts in and get your comments in about anything. We will cover all the latest goings on now. About anything you want to talk about. I forgot about Fred as well, actually, guys. My bad. Fred, obviously, is a subject of interest from Galatasaray, and there were reports coming out yesterday that personal terms have been agreed, and also now Sky Sports are suggesting that personal terms on a proposed move for Man United midfielder Fred to Galatasaray are not expected to be an issue, but a gap in valuation on the fee still exists. Galatasaray are not the only club interested in Fred. So just a little update that I wanted to give you on Fred as well, which I forgot about. But there you go. So Fred is probably on his way out. We could sell McTominay, we can sell Maguire, we can sell Fred, and we could go and buy a pro quality player. Get rid of the slab. Right, and this news earlier, guys, if you missed it, Manchester United rejected West Ham's proposal for Harry Maguire out of hand. £20 million offered for Maguire, and we've said no. Unbelievable. Right then, folks, let's get into the live chat. Thank you all for getting in here. Yes, I do, Bruce McIntosh. He's a nice lad. Really, really do like Kevin. He's a top lad. He's a funny guy. Absolutely, lad. 191 likes. That's awesome, guys. Nearly at 200. Keep doing it. You know it makes sense. Is there any truth in Kudu to United? Apparently so, yes. So actually some comments came out earlier that reported basically that if Man United want Mohamed Kudu, then it's quite a realistic transfer option for us. He would want to come to Manchester United. That's the understanding, that he would be very open to joining Manchester United. Absolutely. Kudu, absolutely, yep. 15 million would be great for Fred, Danny B. Completely agree. If we could get 15 to 20 mil, then I'm happy to sell Fred. But any less than that, we're just doing ourselves dirty. It doesn't make sense to sell him for peanuts. Let's try and get at least a considerable amount of cash for the guy. I know he's getting on a little bit now. He's 31. I know he's got, reasonable wages, but even so, 15 million minimum. Timmy says, was the Maguire 20 million offer, including the bench seat he was sitting on? Kudu or Hojlund? Well, Hojlund for me. But look, Kudu's obviously a good wide player, and maybe we should try and get him as well. I don't see why United have to get somebody, or we should be looking to get 2 forward players. And really, we want 2 proper out-and-out strikers. We want to get Hojlund and then another proper striker. Rather buy 2 more competing number 9s. Precisely, that's a fair point as well, Madhouse. I get that. I understand that. That makes sense. That does make sense. But wouldn't you rather have Kane and Hojlund? If we actually had proper ambition? If we can find a Lions to throw the Glazers in, a Lions pit to throw the Glazers in, would you run the club with me? I mean, maybe. We can talk. Raja, thank you very much for getting in here, lad. I don't know what that means, bud. Mark says, these are the kind of attacking signings we need to make. Young, talent and hungry can learn. I agree. Let Ten Hag be able to shape and mould these players into top-tier talents. Spot on, agree with you. Yeah, Brazilians moving up to, yeah, absolutely. Could well be moving to Galatasaray pretty soon. Very soon indeed. Let's hope it's the case. Fred is probably one of, if not the most likely player now to be sold in the coming, in the coming days. He's probably the most likely to go next. Maybe Henderson, I suppose, but at the moment it probably is expected that it is Fred who's the first out the door now. We've sold a couple of players already, but who's going to be the next out the door? It probably will be Fred. So we've got to get prepared for that. Fred's been a good player for us. I like him. He's a nice guy. I rate him. He plays hard, but he's just not technically good enough. So we've got some more news on Hojlund that's just come out. So there is no stop to Man United's bid at the moment. 62 million euros plus 5 million euros is reported by Alfredo Padula. Atalanta's request is 68 to 70 plus 5. They're working to find out what the agreement's bonuses will make a difference. Very interesting stuff coming through there as well. So, obviously there's very varying different reports as to the amount of money that United are going to table. Let's hope that that comes out soon, because that would be obviously very nice to get it agreed soon, and we can have an idea of the actual amount. So some people say a little bit less than 70 million euros. Fab said it's more than 60 million euros, but that's all that he said. Other outlets suggesting 75 tops. Other outlets saying 70. So I think probably around about 70 million euros, aka 64 million pounds, may be the maximum they're going to get out of us. And if they ask for too much, we probably should move on. Maguire, McTominay and Martial should be the players to be sold next. Spot on with you there, man. Absolutely. United should be breaking the bank to sign Kane. I'm with you there. Absolutely as well, Dan PJK. 100%. Get both, but we need a real top striker to help the young strikers, as Omar Henry. Can actually see Fred doing really well at the right club. Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely. I think Galatasaray kind of represents a decent move for him, in all fairness as well, because, of the European competition, and they're a good, obviously the biggest Turkish club along with Fenerbahce. It's definitely worse places to go and play your football than that. Or maybe a big money move to Saudi Arabia if he just wants the cash. But Galatasaray is a good club. You wish Harry Maguire's head was a full money box, I would be minted. Thank you, Rushy says subscribe to the channel. Absolutely, yes. Garnacho is enjoying Hojlund. All of these players will enjoy having Hojlund to play with. I think he's obviously going to be a good focal point for United's attack. FCG says, how much do you think Anthony Martial is worth now if United put him on the transfer list? £12 million. £12 million. 15 million euros maximum. He's on big money and he's injury prone and gash. So he can't be worth a lot more than that. What do you reckon, guys? Martial's value, I think £12 million is the maximum you can get. United says Man United want 30 million for Harry Maguire and 45 million for Scott McTominay. Yeah, absolutely obscene amounts of cash. We won't get that for either of them, I don't think. If we do, then all of a sudden our negotiation teams are actually pretty decent, even though they've been proven to be gash over the years. If they can get 30 for Harry and 45 for McTominay, wow, they are really geniuses, because they're not worth that. There you go, superstar lad. Hey, we hit 200 likes, guys. Break out the red panties. Thank you, Rushmano. We should be going after Kane for sure. Spot on, agreed. Man United, Harry Maguire, 40 million. Can't get that much. It would be obscene. How much do you want Fred to go for? 23 million? 20 million or 15 million as a bare minimum for Fred. 12 says Bruce. 15 says Jamie. Martial, 3. 12 says Money. 5 says Dimmy. Yeah, I agree, Omar. I think Onana's going to be an excellent goalie for us, mate. I was impressed with his first debut performance the other day, considering he's only just got here. 10 million, mate. What's he done? Yeah, precisely, T-Mill. Anthony Marshmallow, 15 million, says Paul. They paid 70 million down on Punez. I'd rather him than Hojlund. You what? No chance. Amrabat, Hojlund, Kudo or Jimenez. Darwin Punez is guff. How much do you want Fred for? 15 to 20. Maguire's the jewel in the crown. 10 million for Martial would be amazing. Didn't even play one 90-minute game. Yeah, precisely. He's just an injury-prone player as well. You can't ask for a lot on a player who's on 200 grand a week and is always injured. Want to see Maguire versus Gakpo? Martial, 10 mil maybe. Yeah, probably about right. 5 million will be blessed. Ten Hag already hinted he's keeping Martial. He has indeed, Chloe. Yeah, he has. But he's also hinted that he's keeping Mags. If an offer came in for these guys, I'm sure he'd rather sell them because they are just backups. And he could do with the cash to use elsewhere. 8 to 10 mil, says Mark. You want to see Nunes at Old Trafford this season? Oh, hell no. Martial good at keeping H's doctors on their toes, says Emperor Jerome. You think it's more likely Harry Houdini comes back to life than us selling Maguire for 30. I'm with you there, Momo. Hojlund soon, absolutely, Daniel Thomas. Yes, absolutely, mate. It's expected to be negotiated in the next 24 hours. Could even be the next few hours. Make sure you guys come back for the evening show tonight at 10 p.m. We'll give you the latest lowdown on it. Nice one. Okay, I'm going to read a couple more comments out. Then I will be wrapping up this stream, guys. So get your final thoughts in the live chat here. And thank you, everyone, for listening to me ramble on for an hour and 17 minutes. As always, smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, click the bell icon for notifications, and get yourself involved after the stream. Come back after and get your thoughts and opinions in the not live comment section about Maguire, McTominay, Fred, and, of course, the Rasmus Hojlund situation. We want to hear from you. Will the French players join in Sunderland? Do you think Martial would drop down to the Championship? No, I don't, Bristolian Mackham, no. But he might go back to the French Farmers League or something, lad. But no, he's not going to play Championship football. He's on 200 grand a week at United, mate. How many goals would be a good first season for Hojlund? 15 in the Prem would be pretty excellent for a 20-year-old coming in his first season. You know, obviously more would be better, but 15 million would be pretty decent. 15 goals would be pretty decent for his first season, considering he only got 9 last year in Serie A. Thank you, T-Mill. You'll be there at 10 p.m. Great stuff, guys. Thank you, Poisonous Nut. We need to swallow the stuffing and just reinstate Greenwood. He could potentially immediately add 15 to 20 goals. I think that's probably what will happen, Mark. Rightly or wrongly, I think that's probably what will happen. So United keep or sell Ericsson. We're going to keep him for the season, and we absolutely should. He was poor in the last game, in the pre-season game, but he's a quality player. He's only 32. Absolutely keep him for this season, 100%. Yep, there will be good news, or at least there should be some updates and some news coming out tonight, guys. Thank you, Omar Henry. I appreciate you, brother. Right, guys, I'm going to wrap this stream up then. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you all, as always. Thank you for joining and getting your thoughts in about Maguire and Rasmus and everything else. Great show, great chat. Thanks for all the banter throughout. Thanks for listening to me ramble on and for hearing my passionate pleas to sell the slab. Get in there, you legends. Make sure you do chuck a like on this vid before you go. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, and Kick at Flying Pig United. Hit the subscribe button if you're new. We're on our way to 73,000 subscribers. So subscribe if you're new to the channel. Get yourself involved. Come back afterwards and keep the debate going with the legendary community around here by commenting after this video is finished in the not live comments. And we'll see you soon. Thanks, guys. All the links are in the description. So go in over there and give us a follow and subscribe for later. Click the bell icon. Back at 10 p.m, guys. 10 p.m, which is only 3 hours from now. We'll be jumping on them because there probably will be some good evening updates. Thank you, Dimmy Maiden. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, John Boy Cat Lad. Cheers, everyone. Alan, Drunk Vigo, Luan, France, Emperor Jerome. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone. That's it from me. God bless you all. See you on the next one. Thanks for tuning in. We'll keep you locked with the latest United news. Have yourself a good evening, peeps. See you at 10 p.m. And remember, when the seagulls follow the trawler, as this is because they think sardines will be thrown into the sea. Thank you very much.